Despite having 6,000 hours in TF2, I suck at rocket jumping. Like, I'm very bad at it. So I decided to do a challenge where I will try my best for one whole week to improve at rocket jumping and pass an exam at the end of the week. Obviously, there will be a few rules and twists, so I will only have 7 days to do that. Secondly, when I enter into a room, I will not be able to leave that room. If I leave the room, it stops the tries for the day. So let's say if after 5 minutes I stop in that side room, well, the whole day is done and I cannot improve at it. Thirdly, I will have to pass an exam at the end of the week, so if I fail that exam, then the video will be failed. And obviously that exam will have some set of rules that I will explain at that time. And finally, when I launch TF2, it will be to do some rocket jumping. I will not be allowed to go in casual, go in community 2-4, or even go in MVM. I will only be able to go in some jump maps and to practice on it. Without further ado, let's jump right into it. On my first day at Jump Academy, I decided to start a challenge by going from left to right. So I decided to start with the easy and to start with the strafe. Obviously I knew my level wasn't good enough, so I wouldn't try the medium or hard challenge. If the two first ones were quite easy to pass and took me barely any tries, the third room would be what would make me really struggle for a lot of minutes. Tries after tries after tries, even by switching the items, I struggled to pass a jump. But at some point, I finally managed to land the right rocket jump and to finally pass it. For the room number 4 and 5, they were quite easy. I managed to pass them with barely failing. And when I arrived to room 6, it's where I struggled a bit, mainly because I couldn't get enough 8, so I got stuck on that one for quite a while. But I finally managed to pass it after some lucky jump. For the rest of the easy strafe section, I managed to clean it quite easily. The only issue were the room number 9, where I did struggle a bit on the jump part because again not enough 8, and on the room number 10 it was a bit shaggy, but well, I managed to clean it, so I will take it. With that being done, I then decided to move on the wall section and to start doing it. For the easy wall, it was quite a breeze and I managed to pass the 4 first ones quite easily. But when I arrived to the jump number 5, I would take quite a lot of time to pass it, mainly because I would again lack the height to jump and it would make me fail over and over again. After a bit of practice and some issues, I finally managed to get the jump who would make me pass the easy wall number 5. And with that being done, another challenge was awaiting me, the wall number 6. If in theory I knew how to pass the wall number 6, in practice it was another story. I could barely do any rocket jump, and because of that it was quite hard for me to get the timing right and to get the height right when I was jumping. But after some tries, we were closer and closer from the finish line, I finally managed to get the jump that would get me through the section number 6 and to move forward towards section number 7. For the wall number 7, after a lot of tries and a lot of help from Chill, I decided to adapt my strategy and to to go directly for the left road. And after some tries, it finally paid off and I managed to move to road number 8. If the easy wall number 8 and 9 were not too hard to pass, the wall number 10 would be the one who would make me struggle, mainly because I could not consistently manage to reach the blue spot, or I would hit my head on the ceiling, which would make me lose my momentum and would make me drop into the water. But after a lot of tries, I finally managed to pass it and to conclude the day on that note. With the success of the previous day, I was feeling quite confident for the day too. After all, in the previous day, I managed to pass 2 rooms, so solely for that one I will definitely manage to pass it with ease. So with that in mind, I went into the pogo and I thought it would be alright. Yeah, I thought. And it was a bad mindset to have because I would have already checked quite fast. If the first few levels were quite easy, I would soon hit a wall who would sadly for me make me struggle for quite a lot of time on the pogo section. The wall who took me a lot of time to pass on its own is the wall number 8. If I managed to do the pogo part quite easily, the hard part for me was the wall jump to catch right after the pogo. It took me way too much time to just pass it basically. It was a pain. So at some point I managed to find a way to do it in a bit of a weird method. I will leave you judge of the sequence and I will let you tell me if I pass it or not. On my end, I just think that hey, I managed to pass it, I could move forward and I was just happy with that at that time. But yeah, I know that for some of you it may count as cheating basically. After finally defeating floor 8 with unorthodox methods, it was time for floor 9. So I decided to try it and honestly it went on quite easily. Once the floor 9 was done, I decided to move for the floor 10 and that one, I have to say, it made me question if I would forfeit or not. Mainly because I struggled quite a lot on that one, and if it wasn't for Chip who arrived at some point and gave me some tips, helped me to manage to pass it, I would have probably forfeit on that one. With floor 10 being done, it was time for floor 11, and that one was a bit painful for me because I had too much speed, so it was making me failing the last one, the last jump. But once that jump was done, once that thing was done, basically it was time for me to move to floor 12 to 14, and for this one, well, I kinda cheat them. Yeah, I went to use a big bazooka technique to basically bypass the wall jumps, and it just feels good, you know, like basically finding the way to cheat the mechanic and being able to achieve the same results with an easier method. But yeah, anyway, with that being done, I had to face the hardest challenge for me yet, which was the 15th segment, and that one was actually that hard that I sadly didn't manage to finish it. From going legit with Pogo to just trying to cheat it with Bega, none of it worked and I had to bow down and give the victory to the map. I had sadly failed to pass it, and on day 2 I would sadly not complete any map. On day 3 I would have two choices. The first one was to go back to Pogo 50, and the second one was to go for another jump map, because of the fact that I forfeit the previous day on Pogo 50. But with the end of the line being like right in front of me for the Pogo, I thought it would be sad to not keep grinding the Pogo, so I decided to try my luck again and to go back for the Pogo. And well, surely in one day I could definitely manage to pass it, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. I couldn't. After countless tries, I barely made any progress in the Pogo, so I decided to forfeit it after being stuck on that map for more than 2 or 3 hours. And with that being done and me forfeiting early on that map, it would cut my progress for the rest of the day. With the failure on day 3 at Pogo, I was seriously questioning in which direction I should go. Should I go for some medium walls? Should I go for some sink, or for some mixed, or for some surf, or should I keep doing the Pogo? In the end, I decided to go for the surf section and to learn how to do the surf. And if the first rooms of the surf went down quite easily and with not a lot of tries put into them, I would soon get stuck on one specific room. The first room that would get me stuck would be the room number 4. It will take me a few minutes at the very least to pass it. And when I say a few minutes, I mean it in like dozens of minutes to just pass it, to try over and over. And I would finally get that run where I would manage to pass it. But right after that one would await for me a room who will get me stuck even more time and who would require from me the help of someone we saw on day 2. As you guess, it was T. He slowly but surely helped me to improve at the surf while monitoring what I was doing, and by doing that, he was sure that if I was committing mistakes or not, and he could tell me if it was wrong or good. But, well, again, I may have betrayed his expectations because for that specific room I kinda passed it with another method. For the next room, I sadly forgot to hit the rec button when I passed it, so you would just see me failing over and over, sadly. So yeah, I still managed to pass it, and with that, we moved to the next room of the surf section. So for that room it was hard, like, yeah, it was hard, but it was mainly a question of speed and angles when I was launching my rockets, and I had T to help me. So basically, after a few tries, we managed to pass it, and yeah, the try where I passed it was quite clean and I was quite happy with it. With that being done, it was time for the last room, the last challenge between me and the end of the surf in easy mode. And I spent a lot of time on it. Like, let's be real, I spent way too much time on it. It was hard, it was painful, I struggled a lot because it was a matter of speed, angle, and like, it was painful, okay? I struggled way too much for that. And yeah, like, it just basically gave me again some vibes of like Street Fighter syndromes, where like I know the mechanic but I can't apply them because I lack the skill. So yeah, I deeply hated that rule actually. But in the end, I still managed to pull off that try, who would allow me to finally pass it. And therefore conclude on that happy ending where I finally managed to clear a course again. But I only had 2 days left, and I would seriously need to improve my skill if I wanted to pass that exam. On day 5 and 6 I had 3 solutions. The first one was to try sync. The second one was to go back on pogo. And the third one was to go back on rocketjump. For the first and second one, so for the sync and the pogo, I decided to not try them because, well, I'm not dumb enough to risk another day. I didn't want to burn another day to overestimate my skills, go in those, and just fail. I could go in sync and fail the first rule, or I could go in pogo and fail before the rule 15. I had no insurance of me succeeding to that. So I decided to go back for the rocketjump and to practice them for the 2 next days. And with the rocketjump and a bit of surf in the end being done, I decided to finally move for the last part of that video, who was the challenge. Now for the little challenge I set for myself. It's actually fairly easy. I would just have to get a kill with the market garden. But to do that, I will only have 6 tries to do it. And that's where the difficulty would be, because I'm still a huge beginner when it comes to rocketjump and when it comes to market garden kills. So having only 6 tries would be very challenging for me, because I would have to time them very well, and that would probably be a good part of luck into that challenge for me to complete it. Still, I hope you guys enjoy that challenge. I hope you all enjoy the video, and yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, or like just comment to tell me what you guys thought of that challenge. For the challenge I got quite lucky. I managed to find a server who was friendly and to land the market garden on the friendly soldier who wasn't really moving, to say the least. And I know what sounds amazing. You will be like, oh, but Malatos, like, it's super easy, it's a friendly server, it don't count. The idea for that challenge was just to see if I could land a market garden with some critical and strafe and jump and do some stuff in casual. And the thing is, yes, I did improve at that. Compared to the beginning of the video, I did improve at those, and that's what matters in my eyes. So to conclude that week of rocket jumping and the challenge, did I enjoy doing that? Honestly, yes. Like, I did improve quite a lot, and even if it was very frustrating at some point, mostly for example on the pogo section where like, I spent way too much time on it, I still really enjoy to try to learn new things and to be able to pass some walls and some rooms, and like just feeling overall a feeling like of progress into it. Obviously, like compared to some people who have like thousands of hours only into rocket jump, I know that I will not be able to beat those guys or to be as good as them, but I'm also not willing to put the time into that, because on my end, like, even if rocket jump is fun and it's a nice mechanic, a nice way to move, it's not a necessity in my opinion. So that's why I'm just willing to like learn the basics and keep sharpening my skills in some casual games or like in games overall. I rather like spend some time to sharpen my skills, to hit some headshots, or to be way more consistent with my air blast, or like learning how to read the opponent and like where to go, rather than spending like as I spent like 45 hours or a bit more just to learn rocket jump. Anyways, I still hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, again, if you guys can like and subscribe, comment in the video. I see you in the next one.